Hey everybody, it is Mike, 55 years young. Let's talk about loofahs, and we're not allowed to really talk. Well, we can talk about loofahs in our group, the Villages, Florida community information. It's linked down below, or check the description of this YouTube video and give us some comments down below about what you think about loofahs. You can talk all you want on this one, but in our group, if you start to go off about STD, swingers, or loofahs in general, we ban you. Okay, but I just want to talk about it because it's kind of fallen out of favor. That's what this video is about. Are loofahs still a thing in the Villages? Okay, now they used to be a thing. It used to be that you could come over here and go to the squares and see everybody's golf carts. They had different colored loofahs, and we're going to get into that. If you're not really aware of what that was or what that is, that's why this video exists. So it's Mike, 55 years young. Let's get right into it. All right, the loofah phenomenon in the Villages, Florida, where residents allegedly use colored loofahs on golf carts or cars to signal sexual preferences or relationship status, e.g. swinging open relationships, has been a widely discussed urban legend since at least the early 2010s. So it's newer, okay, because this community's been around since like the early 1990s or maybe even late 80s. Let me know if you know the exact founding date. I'm not even sure what it was. But that didn't circulate till around the 2010s. As of November 2025, based on recent discussions, social media posts, and local analyses, loofahs are not entirely a thing of the past, but are significantly less prominent and more of a myth than reality today. Okay, here's the current status. I also want to give a shout out to Stephanie Stone, one of our moderators here on the Villages, Florida community information. She actually made a video recently that I saw where she talked about how she doesn't really see him anymore. And even in the last 2 years, I'd say I've noticed that as well. So is Denise, my wife, 55 years young. All right, here's the current status. Key points on loofahs in 2025. Origins and decline. The loofah rumor, popularized by viral articles and Reddit threads around 2018 to 2020, suggested a complex, quote, loofah code, unquote, e.g. white for newbies, purple for swingers. However, investigations by local media and resident forums have largely debunked it as exaggerated. And I would agree with that. Many residents now view it as a joke or an outdated stereotype, with fewer loofahs visible compared to a decade ago. Absolutely. Current usage. Some residents still display loofahs, but it's often often for practical or decorative reasons, e.g. marking golf carts for identification in crowded lots. Yeah, definitely. I think actually that's how it originally came about, if you ask me. That's the true way or reason why loofahs became a thing. Or adding personal flair. In a 2024 X post from a Villages visitor noted seeing, quote, a few loofahs, mostly on older carts, but nothing like the wild stories, unquote. The, quote, code, unquote, is rarely mentioned seriously by locals, and newer residents post-2020 are less likely to engage or even know about the rumor. Cultural shift. The Villages has grown rapidly, with over 150,000 residents and a younger retiree demographic, 55 to 65, like me, moving in. This influx, combined with stricter community oversight and a push has shed the, quote, swinger, unquote, stigma, a push to shed the swinger stigma, has diluted the loofah's alleged significance. Social clubs and nightlife remain vibrant, but residents report more focus on golf, pickleball, and community events than on coded signals. Resident sentiment on forums. Longtimers express annoyance at the loofah myth, calling it a blown out of proportion or something outsiders obsess over, which I would agree, absolutely. 2025 thread noted that loofahs are barely a thing anymore, I agree, and residents are more likely to use monogram golf cart flags or decals for personalization. Some humorously keep loofahs to mess with tourists, quote unquote. No official acknowledgement. The Villages Management and Community Development District have never confirmed the loofah code, and deed restrictions don't address it, okay? The rumor persists mostly through external media. That water is going? It just turned on. All right. The rumor persists mostly through external media and curious visitors rather than active resident participation. Why it's fading but not gone. Number one is media overhype. The loofah story gained traction during a period of sensationalized reporting about the Villages party culture, but the community matures, and as the community matures and diversifies, the narrative feels less relevant. Number two, practicality. Golf cart customization has shifted towards more modern, less ambiguous options like LED lights. Absolutely. I've seen jacked up golf carts too, big tires, themed decals, reducing reliance on loofah. Loofahs, yeah, to basically be able to find your golf cart, because there's so many golf carts here. So that's a good point. And then number 3, awareness and backlash. Residents aware of the rumor often avoid loofahs or dodge judgment or unwanted attention, though a small minority may display them ironically. Final verdict. Loofahs are not a significant widespread thing in the villages anymore, having transitioned from a rumored subculture signal to a largely retired joke or minor decoration. While you might spot a few on golf carts, they're more likely to be random accessories than part of an active code. The community's focus has moved on to other social recreational priorities. If you're visiting or moving, don't expect loofahs to define the culture. Think golf, happy hours, and pickleball instead. And I would say that's a great summary of what's going on. Let me know your comments below. Definitely keep up the discussion there. We'll respond to all comments. It's Mike, 55 years young, signing off. Bye-bye.